What's going on? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to do a video talking about Sean O'Malley. If anyone in the bantamweight division can really beat him, I know this past weekend we had Chito Vera versus Davis Figueiredo, and we had Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov at the UFC Abu Dhabi card, and that made me think that Sean O'Malley is a more dominant champion, seeing both of those fighters fight. And I just wanted to kind of talk about, do I see any fighter in the UFC bantamweight division having a shot at defeating Sean O'Malley in the very near future? If you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That is the best way to support the channel as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And please, while you're down there in the video description and leaving that like and subscription, please turn on the post notification. It will help you guys out so much. Stay in contact with the latest MMA news because I drop as soon as it comes out. Let's jump right into the video if anyone can defeat Sean O'Malley. Okay, so I just wanted to make this video because I think that this past weekend with the Corey Sandhagen, the Chito Vera fight, just showed of how good Sean O'Malley truly is. Back in March, he fought Chito Vera, where he absolutely killed Chito Vera with some scorecards being 50-45 and a couple scorecards being 50-44. And that is a very dominant performance from Sean O'Malley. And I think that this is one of those things to where it shows that a lot of these up-and-coming fighters in the UFC bantamweight division are not going to have a lot for Sean O'Malley. So I just want to talk about, is there really any fighter in that bantamweight division that can really take Sean O'Malley out in the UFC octagon? And possibly there are a couple people who could do so. I do think that Merab Dvalishvili would be the first person that we talk about. Sean O'Malley is fighting Merab Dvalishvili at UFC Noche coming up at UFC 306 at the Las Vegas Sphere and at the main event, which I do think is a banger main event. Merab is one of the best characters inside the UFC. He's a great grappler, has amazing cardio, and I do think that that cardio lends himself a 100% purpose or a very clear avenue to take it off Sean O'Malley. Now, Sean O'Malley's takedown defense is really good, is really improved. Corey Sandhagen's takedown defense from Umar Nurmagomedov this past weekend was really, really good, and I think Sean O'Malley is on that same level. So I think that Merab Dvalishvili is going to get caught, though, versus someone like Sean O'Malley because he's a little bit more reckless on the feet when going in against someone like Sean O'Malley, who's an absolute sniper on the feet, KOing Aljamain Sterling. The Peter Yan fights, he was piecing Peter Yan up a little bit, and some of these other fights going in to truly where Sean O'Malley is going to be the better striker on the feet against someone like Merab Dvalishvili. And the next person I want to go to is Umar Nurmagomedov. I think Umar has the best chance in the entire bantamweight division to beat Sean O'Malley, and that is because he has a taekwondo background as well as being an amazing grappler. His performance against Corey Sandhagen this past weekend was super, super, super impressive in my opinion because Corey Sandhagen I hold in the highest regard inside the UFC bantamweight division. I think Corey Sandhagen is one of the best all-around fighters inside the UFC, and I think Umar Nurmagomedov defeating him very diligently in that fight, I think was a testament to how good Umar and that Khabib run team really, really is. So I think that Umar is going to be able to go in there and possibly defeat Sean O'Malley because he's going to be able to mix up the grappling and mix up the striking. You know, someone like Aljamain Sterling isn't the greatest striker and was a backpack machine when he fought his fighters. You look at that Peter Yan fight, that TJ Dillashaw fight, and the Henry Cejudo fight, and even this fight with Calvin Kattar that he had at UFC 300. Aljamain Sterling has shown time and time again that he is amazing at taking the back and riding it off of there. And that's why someone like Umar is going to be even more effective versus Sean O'Malley because he is multiple dimensional in that standpoint. Yes, he can ride the back, but he can also strike. It was very apparent in that Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley fight who the better striker was. And the grappling was not as apparent because Sean O'Malley's takedown defense was so good. So it was due time before Sean O'Malley knocked out Aljamain Sterling to capture that belt. So I believe that Umar Nurmagomedov having that taekwondo style and having that grappling could give Sean O'Malley problems. Now, Umar's a little bit smaller than some of these guys in that UFC bantamweight division. Not saying he's a small fighter, but even though he is shorter, like someone like Aljamain Sterling, he's not built like Aljo. Aljo was absolutely massive for the bantamweight division, even though he wasn't tall. But I do think that Umar has the best chance in the UFC bantamweight division. And who do I have in that fight? O'Malley or Umar? And I think I still have Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley will be able to get a shot off of on him and just knock him down once. But that is a very close fight, and a fight that I can 100% see Umar winning very dominantly if he can get that takedown, because I think that back control, I think Sean O'Malley could possibly lose via rear naked choke and all of these different things. But Sean O'Malley is going to have to drill the takedown defense straight in that camp, to where I think that he can genuinely be able to fend off these takedowns. And the last fighter I kind of want to talk about real quick is Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen just fought Umar Nurmagomedov this weekend and lost that fight, but I still think that Corey Sandhagen is one of the best fighters inside the UFC bantamweight division. I think Corey is going to be able to go in there and stand and strike with Sean O'Malley, but also go for the takedown. Now, I know his takedowns didn't look that good against Umar Nurmagomedov, but I think that was also a testament to how good Umar's takedown defense is in wrestling with some of the best grapplers in the UFC, like Islam Makhachev and Usman Nurmagomedov, who is in the PFL. But I do think that Corey Sandhagen is going to be able to go in there and mix up the boxing and mix up the striking, which, after saying last night, I still do think Sean O'Malley gets that win. I think Sean O'Malley is going to be able to pace up Corey Sandhagen on the feet, although that would be a very impressive fight. And I know I said that that was the last fighter, but I want to do one more. Last person I want to talk about is the rematch between Peter Yan, and I think that this could possibly be one of the hardest matchups for Sean O'Malley in that division. I think it probably goes Umar Nurmagomedov, Peter Yan, then Corey Sandhagen, and then Merab Dvalishvili. But Peter Yan is so well-rounded, and we all know he has that grappling game, considering that he was taking Sean O'Malley down because he was getting pieced up on the feet. But Peter Yan is such an impressive striker, and he knows how to mix it up very, very well, and I think that that would aid incredibly well against someone like Sean O'Malley, considering that their first fight was so close, and you put that fight over 5 rounds, I think that would be an absolute banger of a fight. So I'm hoping Peter Yan wins this next one versus Deiveson Figueiredo if they do that, just so Peter Yan can get that title shot after Umar Nurmagomedov to see O'Malley versus Yan too, because that would be an absolute amazing fight to put on again. I think that, yeah, it was really a coin flip the first time. I do think Sean O'Malley did win that fight, but as I've said prior, that was an incredibly close fight where Peter Yan definitely won the second round. Sean O'Malley definitely won the third round. And that first round was so close that it really was up to judgment of how you scored the fight, and a right answer of who won that fight truly. I mean, there's no wrong answer. You look at everyone in the fans and all that was super split. I know Joe Rogan thought that Peter Yan won the first time, and then as he went back, he thought Sean O'Malley won. So super split. But I do think that Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley too would be an incredibly close fight in the UFC organization, considering that Sean O'Malley is such a good fighter, and Peter Yan gave him the most problems that we've seen through his entire UFC career. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA, and please let me know about these 4 fighters, and if you think that any of them could really realistically beat Sean O'Malley. The 4 fighters were Merab Dvalishvili, Umar Nurmagomedov, Corey Sandhagen, and Peter Yan. I do think that some of these fighters are a lot closer than others, but I think that any fight here for Sean O'Malley really is going to be an exciting fight, because Sean O'Malley, even if you don't like him, if you don't like the style, or you just don't like him as a person, he has some of the most entertaining fighting styles in the UFC right now, with that striking, just masterclass he put on Chito Vera, and just how amazing he is in that striking department, and how his IQ really allows him to do those feints and those knees inside the octagon. If you guys enjoyed the content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That is the best way to support the channel, since we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and 97.2% of my viewers aren't subscribed. And while you're down there, turn on the post notifications, just so you guys are always notified when UFC content releases. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA, and I will catch you guys very, very, very soon with more UFC content and news.